My name is John Hensley. I work at a company called AIGA. It's owned by Allstate, and we're a telematics data company. And I'm an experienced design lead.
Oh, hey, my name is Stephen Riley. I work at a company called Outcome Health, downtown Chicago, and my role is a product design lead. That's a complex question. My career path has been honestly winding, and I think it's winding in the way that it's followed the development of UX, I think, as a practice. I'm a bit of an older guy, and I kind of went up through the agency ranks as a creative, all the while noticing this thing called UX kind of forming in the distance as a practice. And it really started to formalize these two great loves of my life, which is design, obviously, and psychology. And I see UX as a kind of a merging of those two things. So I kind of followed it, and that basically led me to the product side, which I think personally best activates UX and the potential of it.
So I started out as a graphic designer in print publishing way back in the 90s, designing books. And then late 2000s, I shifted over to the digital side, went to DePaul's Human-Computer Interaction Program, and then got a job as an interaction designer. And then through the DePaul program, I met somebody there who got me my current job.
I do? Okay. So we'll be teaching human-centered design, which we're both certified instructors at. We actually met teaching at Allstate and Arity, and helping them really put the user at the center of what they do, at the center of their businesses. And I think it's all about that in itself is helping bring the user into the design process and really help you empathize with them, help you ideate, and really get into mode of being a problem solver, not just a designer.
Yeah. So we teach methods of observing people, participatory research, that kind of stuff. Also methods for digging into complex problems, methods on how to understand the problem space, as well as how to prioritize, and also in addition, ideation and concepting and prototyping methods as well. I think if people have these tools and techniques in their day-to-day, it's just gonna improve them as a designer. It's gonna make their worth to other companies a lot more valuable.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think too often you see design put into a pigeonhole and more around delivery than actually being part of the business, helping evolving what the business's purpose is, and really elevating the kind of seat of design within the organization, and through that the role of the designer. So for me, this whole set of methodologies, this framework, is about really helping designers be a lot more to their organizations, and by extent, increasing their value in the entire market. For me, and just being someone who hires designers, is real concrete work. An example of learning this process and learning these methods and having evidence of it and showing how they think in their process and how they apply it, rather than just the end result you typically see in portfolios. I want to see how you got there. I want to see what you learned, the kind of troubles you went through, where you failed, how you adjusted it, rather than just the end result. So I think what we're trying to do is really offer them kind of the A to Z process of really solving a problem.
Not as much space flight, but pretty much anything space flight part of that. But like I'm really fascinated with planets and moons, stars, the universe in general, and just like how vast and unknown and amazing it is.
And I'm also very fascinated with beer. So, and actually while I was working at Allstate, I met a bunch of crazy guys who were really heavy into beer making, and they kind of taught me some things, and I realized, hey, I could do this too. This isn't as hard as it thinks, as it seems, I guess. So I started last year, failed quite a bit, which was okay. I didn't blow anything up. I didn't make anybody sick. So I'm going to continue with it, but it's really fascinating and really made me respect the breweries who put out a really consistent, good product, because it's hard. It's a lot harder than you think. And then I also learned like the fun chemistry behind it about yeast and fermentation and all that good stuff. And made me wonder, like, how did we figure that out as a culture? Like, how do we figure out that like fermenting yeast creates alcohol? Like, who figured that out? Like, how much trial and error did you have to get to figure that out? So it's been it's been fun, except that I got kicked out of my kitchen because part of the process is you heat up the mash and it's really stinky, right? Like hops are really stinky. So I made the whole house stinky. So my whole family rebelled on me. And now I'm like working on my garage. So working out the kinks, but it's a fun hobby.